Welcome to the Soul Code, where we unlock the language of your soul, one number at a time. I'm your host, Kendra numerologist, artist, and creative coach, here to guide you on this sacred journey. Let's tune in and create from who you truly are. Welcome to the Soul Code Numerology, where we explore the intersection of creativity, intuition, and self-discovery through numerology. I'm your host, Kendra. I am so grateful you're here joining me for today's soulful, nourishing episode. In this session, we'll dive into one of my favorite tools for uncovering the soul's blueprint. That's your life path number. This number isn't just a label, it's a map, a melody, a mirror, and tells the story of how your energy naturally flows, how you're designed to grow, and how you're meant to create in this world. Okay, so what is a life path number? Your life path number is the number that adds up from your birth date. It's the number, energy that your soul came here to experience and learn from. And ideally, to master everything in your life is surrounded by this energy. Calculating your full date of birth gives you your life path. Therefore, the date that you were born, the earth was actually vibrating at a certain frequency, and that's the frequency you came in. So if you look at today's date, and when you add that up, which I'm going to show you in a minute, when you add that date up, you're getting that today's frequency, okay? So it reflects your core soul vibration, your natural path, your talent, your challenges, and purpose. It's the theme that always shows up. Spiritually, it's the energy your soul chose to learn through in this lifetime. And physically, it's the experiences that you'll have. And our experiences are based on how we approach these energies, on a low frequency or a high frequency, because every number has a high and low vibration. For instance, the positive or high frequency of the number 1 is self-awareness, leadership, where the negative or low frequency is egoism, domineering, or even laziness. And one of the most as one of the most important numbers of numerology, think of it as the root note of a musical scale. All the experiences you go through, the lessons, the wins, even the struggles, are tuning you into the frequency of your life path number. Okay, so now let's talk about calculating your birth date and to get your life path number. Okay, so let's do an example. August 16th, 1985. So what you're going to do is you're going to add up, you're going to take the number of the month, which is 8. You're going to take the date, which we said 16, and you're going to go 1 plus 6. And then you're going to take the year, and you're going to add the year, each digit, 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 5. So when you start with the month, you already have an 8. The date, you have 16. You said 1 plus 6, so that's 7. The year, you add that up and you get 23. Now, what you want to do at this point is you want to add up the date. You want to add up the month, the day, and the year. So you'll go 8 plus 7 plus 23, which gives you 38, right? And then you get that up, and then you get 38, and then you're going to add up 3 and 8, and then you get 11. I hope that makes sense. So what you're doing is just adding the numbers straight across. Okay, so once you add the day, the month, the day, and the year, you get that double-digit number. Then you're going to add up, like we got 38, you're going to add 3 plus 8. And then you get 11, which is a master number. So normally what we do is we break down, if it's a double digit, we break it down. So normally it'd be 1 plus 1, which is 2. But because it's a master number, you don't break it down. But you always break it down to a single digit from 1 to 9. So master numbers are 11, 22, and 33. Those are never broken down. So if you have an 18, you're going to go 1 plus 8 to get 9. If you come up with 23, you're going to add 2 plus 3 to get 5. You're always going to break it down to a single digit. So pause here, grab a pen and paper, or use your note app and calculate your life path number, or even maybe your kids, your spouse or partner. Take this time, so get those life path numbers, or if it's just you, come back and we're going to talk about each number and what they actually mean, what the life paths actually mean, and how who you are. This is the essence. This life path, remember, this life path is the essence of who you are. It's what you're here to master. Okay, so let's take a quick overview of these life path numbers. Okay, so we're going to start with the number 1, who is the leader. You are here to be bold, independent, creative, innovator. You are self-aware, you're connected to your identity and your uniqueness. All right, number 2, you're the peacemaker. You're here to make peace, to be intuitive, cooperative, heart-centered, good with relationships, in tune with your masculine and feminine energy, intuitive, and trust yourself. All right, and 3 is the creator, communicator. You are here to be expressive, a joy bringer, love to inspire, creative, and know your voice. You know how to move energy like entertainers, writers, and poets. You're a natural energy mover. Now 4, you're the builder, you're grounded, you're here to create structure, committed to a steady growth, in tune with nature, faithful, aware of the mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical aspects of life. Number 5, you're the freedom seeker. You are here to experience life fully through all the senses. It's dynamic. You're dynamic. You're curious. You need creative freedom. You're explorative. You know how to release and surrender to Source and the divine plan. 6, you're the nurturer. You're here to nurture, heal, and be creative. You're service-driven, artistic, a harmonizer, a healer, a teacher, very connected to Source and see the divine in all. 7, you are the seeker. You are deep, reflective, spiritually creative, with inner wisdom, psychic abilities, and see things as they truly are. You are the message bringer. 8, the powerhouse. You are the manifester, the visionary, creative in business and systems. Manager of life and authority, balancing the material and the spiritual world. 9, the humanitarian. You hold great wisdom, are compassionate, sees beauty in the world, healers, demands justice, are universal in your views, light bringers of knowledge. You're here to serve humanity. 11, intuitive visionary. You are a spiritual artist, deeply sensitive, often ahead of your times, and you're here to inspire others. You hold the key to opening others to look deeper. 22, the master builder. You're here to dream big, create something substantial with purpose, establish organizations. You're educator, you're organizer, you're a great collaborator, and a visionary. 33, you are the master teacher. This is Christ conscious. This is a very rare number. Not too many people come up with this number, but I have had a few clients or people have taken my workshop with this number. But this is you are of unconditional love and very it's a very hard path because it requires so much sacrifice for the good of all. Service and compassion is your path, and global healing. You can have a big influence with masses. It's very, very possible. So one thing to remember is that with these master number 11, 22, and 33, if you're not living up to that energy, those numbers come here not for the self, they come here to serve. They're here for a bigger cause. And there's a lot of self-sacrificing really in all of them. But 11, if it's not lived up to its energy, you convert to a number 2. 22, if it's not lived up to that energy, you convert to a 4. Same thing with 33. You convert to a 6, which I have seen is mostly what I've seen. 33 is the hardest. I don't think I've yet seen a person with a 33 life path that I haven't personally met that has lived up to that energy as a life path. Now, this can be in other numbers, and yes, because Michael Jackson has a soul urge 33, which, my goodness, he did it, okay, from a soul urge perspective. So that's what those numbers mean. Okay, so now let's look at what your life path says about your creativity. Each life path has a creative essence, how you naturally channel inspiration. Now, your life path reveals your soul preferred mode of expression. For example, 3s love spontaneous expressions. They love writing. They love speaking. They love engaging. 4 is they create beauty through structure. Their work. I had a person one of my clients who was students actually, who was a 4 and was so brilliantly in creating really structured designs, and the work was very linear. For instance, also you might have 7s who may need solitude and reflect to access their creative flow, and their work could be very much more abstract because they're more about going deeper and getting a deeper understanding of art. You could have a 5 energies. They're usually, I would say, it's about texture. They usually like the work is not so traditional, right? It's probably more their expression is much more abstract, or more not necessarily abstract, but contemporary in its way, and not so expected. So there's many ways in which, depending on your energy, how you express your creativity. If you ever wondered why certain types of art or communications or projects feel more like home to you, it's probably written in your life path. For example, 6 are more drawn to more aesthetically inspired works. 4s, again, they're more drawn to texture, and again, not so traditional. So your life path gives you validation of how you create and opens you up to acceptance of your creativity. In other words, numerology gives validation. The reason I combine creativity with numerology is that every soul is here to be the creator of their life. And understanding how you create gives validation to how you approach situations, how you see life, and our experiences in life. Okay, so I have a creative exercise for you. As you might not know, my background, my profession is actually I'm a art instructor, and I'm a therapeutic art instructor. So my background is actually in art education and also using art as a form of therapy. And I've been doing that for, oh my goodness, over 20 years, so a very long time. So this is, again, this is why I combine these two mediums of numerology along with the art, because when we can get into our creative process and our creative thinking, And also combining that with self-knowledge of our numerology, it's such a powerful tool for self-development. It's such a powerful tool for healing, particularly. So this is why I combine these two. So I do have something creative for you to channel the energy of your life path, okay? Creating helps you to see where you're stuck. Okay, listen to what you say to yourself and try to reverse what you say if it doesn't serve you. And this will help you to reconnect with your inner core and your inner truth. Okay, so for instance, an example, if your life path is a 2, you might decide create a collage or peaceful scene or create a mandala, something that appeals to you in that way, right? Because it'll just naturally do that. If you're a 5, be spontaneous. Try something that's maybe abstract or very contemporary, or use a lot of textures. If you're a 7, you might want to journal alongside a piece of art to uncover hidden meanings, or you might just dive into really into what I call intuitive painting, intuitive drawing. Do something that doesn't require you to think so much, but just kind of let loose. The reason I encourage art making is because it helps to rewire the brain, to think differently, to come into alignment with your authentic self. I always say this, how you create art is how we create our life. So how we create art, I'm going to say that again, how we create art is how we create our life. And when you find your flow in art making, you're able to use the same creative process in all your life situations to create the life you truly want. So I encourage being non-judgmental, focus on feeling, and flow over technique, okay? It's not about technique. It's just about expression and getting that energy that you are in your life path, get that energy flowing through you through expressive art making. So have fun with this and see what comes up for you. Now, remember, your life path isn't a box. It's a bridge to understanding your purpose, your power, and your creativity. I invite you to share your artwork or insight with me by email at numberswithkendra@gmail.com, and that's numbers with an S, okay? And if you'd like a complete blueprint reading with an 80-page book all about you, please visit my website at www.numerologywithkendra.com. Please subscribe to my broadcast. If you enjoyed this information, share this episode with people who you feel might benefit from the information. So please visit my website for workshops or free webinars that I give on occasion. And next time, we'll explore how to manifest your dreams through numerology. So until next time, stay encouraged and create the life you desire.